Good evening and welcome back to the first Beautiful Nerd podcast episode in a long time. It's been a while. A lot has happened, and honestly, I've been dreading making this episode for a long time, which is why it's been such a long time since I actually made an episode. Because a lot happened the last time I made an episode. I think it was like a couple weeks before I was moving, which there was drama with that because I ended up getting kicked out. I had to stay at my aunt's for like a couple of weeks. I moved earlier than I thought I would because I got kicked out. July was probably the most dramatic month I've ever experienced because, well, when my dad kicked me out in June, which is a very long story, and I will not get into the large amounts of drama that happened with that. I had to move at the end of June to my mom's house, even though I was supposed to not move until July. But then I had to go back to my dad's house in July because of court order, summer visitation stuff, okay? At my dad's house, yeah, it's a long story. A lot happened. There was like 7 social workers involved, okay? It was a lot. There was a lot going on. It was dramatic. There was drama. A lot happened. Now, between dealing with all of that and knowing that he listens to my podcast, I really don't want him to be able to keep up with my life, okay? So because he listens to my podcast, that's one of the reasons I haven't filmed a lot of episodes or recorded a lot of episodes, because I've just been like, I don't want that. And then, yeah. So between like dealing with everything that happened over the summer, and then honestly just deciding where I wanted this podcast to go. I had to really decide what was the point of having this podcast. Did I actually enjoy it? Did I actually want to keep the podcast going? And so I had to kind of deal with that and decide whether I wanted to keep recording the podcast like I was doing, or switch to something else, do something else. So this is the first podcast episode in a while because of that. There's just been a lot of drama recently. My life has been so crazy because, I moved 4 hours away from all of my friends, my school. I switched schools. I've had to make new friends. And yeah, I'm with my sister now, but it was a really big move, and I moved to so they call it a hybrid school, because it's our classes are online, but our schoolwork and stuff is all online, but we have actual classes and we have teachers, so we're only in actual classes 3 days a week, and then the other 2 days, so Mondays and Thursdays, we have the option of coming in, and if we're behind we have to come in, but we can work from home those days just because everything is online so much. So it's actually really convenient, but it's also just a completely new way of schooling, so I had to figure that out and get used to this new kind of schooling, and having to track all my schoolwork and keep myself up to date, because I was mostly responsible for planning when things had to get done and all of that. So I had due dates, but it was just a lot to switch to this new school, and so I kind of was getting used to that. And then I've just had a lot of drama happen. There's been so much. But we're back, and I'm very glad to be back, because, to tell you the truth, I have missed the podcast so much, and I genuinely love Beautiful Nerd, and I was very sad that I wasn't recording episodes. Between not having the time and just everything, I just wasn't able to record episodes, so there was a lot of drama. So I was reading The Boy in Striped Pajamas today and yesterday. I started it yesterday and then I finished it today, because it's quite a short book. It's only about 200 pages, and I did audiobook it, and when I listen to an audiobook, I listen to it on 3 times speed. I don't know how people can listen to audiobooks on normal speed. Like, it actually, like, kills my brain. I have to speed it up. I actually can't listen to audiobooks under 2.5 speed. I like 3-point speed. It's really good. So I get audiobooks done super fast. So I think I finished the book in, like, I think I was actually listening to it for, like, less than 2 hours. So it was really fast, but it was such a good book. I do love The Boy in Striped Pajamas. If you've never read it, I think you should read it, because it's one of the best World War II books I've ever read. It's about, like, this 9-year-old German boy whose father's a Nazi soldier, and they move to a concentration camp because his father gets reassigned as, like, the guy that's the soldier in charge of this concentration camp for the Jews. And this 9-year-old boy, Bruno, doesn't know what's going on, like, at all, because he's, like, a 9-year-old boy. He's incredibly ignorant about the world around him, and he meets this little Jewish boy from in the concentration camp, and they would sit on either side of the fence together, and they would talk all the time, and they became really close friends. And it's such a good book, and I definitely suggest you read it if you haven't. It's, like, such a good book. So technically I'm reading it for school, but okay, so we're doing novel studies in English class right now, and I'm doing 2 because I'm an overachiever, guys. I'm amazing. Actually, I just love the books that we're doing, so I wanted to do 2 because I couldn't decide, and I was like, I'm just gonna do 2 instead. So I'm doing 1 over spring break, and then I'm gonna do 1 when I get back, just because, like, 1, I've read The Boy in Striped Pajamas before, so this is my second time reading it, and 2, like, it's a super easy read, and I can get it done really fast, whereas, like, the other book that I'm doing, All the Light We Cannot See, it's, like, a bit thicker of a book. I don't know how many pages it is, but it's, like, probably, like, 500 would be my guess, but it's, like, a bit larger of a book, so it's going to take me a little bit longer to read. So I am doing that one after spring break. So that'll be fun. I'm very excited. I love the books that we are doing for our novel studies. I have read The Boy in Striped Pajamas before, but I've never read All the Light We Cannot See, which is why I wanted to do 2, because I just love The Boy in Striped Pajamas. It's such a good book, but I've never read All the Light We Cannot See. So I don't know if it's going to be a good book, but I really like what I've heard about it. So I think it's going to be a really good book. Yeah. I've been in, like, a reading slump the last couple months. I haven't read, like, anything since, like, the summer. I read, like, probably 30 books over the summer, and then didn't read anything, like, for the whole fall. So I'm getting, like, back into reading and trying to get back into that for 2026. I did not read, like, as many books as I wanted to for January and February, because I read, like, basically nothing. But I'm hoping to get back into that, like, as soon as possible, because I love reading. It's very fun. It's such a good pastime, instead of just sitting on my phone and scrolling on TikTok for 14 hours a day, which is something I've done before. It's really bad. So getting out there and doing something different instead of, like, just sitting on my phone is definitely a lot better. I'm just checking my notifications, so if I stop, it's because I'm looking at stuff. But yeah, so I think I'm reading, like, currently I'm interested in, like, a lot of, like, psychological thrillers. So I haven't read a lot of those in my life, but I do find them very interesting. I like the, like, kind of, like, plot twist, like, you didn't expect it at all kind of stories. Like, major plot twist, major, like, incredibly shocking, like, will flip the way you viewed the story entirely kind of thing. Kind of psychological thrillers. So I think those will be very interesting to read. And I've got a bunch of them coming. I've got a bunch of them on hold right now, because the library system is annoying and books take forever to get in. So now I have to wait. So 2 of the books I'm waiting for will be here in like a couple weeks, and then I'm gonna have to wait a lot longer for the other ones. But hopefully they come in as fast as possible, because I plan to read a lot over spring break, because I'm just not gonna have a lot to do, kind of thing. So we'll see what happens. That's the goal. I want to read as much as possible over spring break, because I've got nothing else to do. No schoolwork to do, nothing. I just get to sit at home. Well, that's not true. I have a bunch of appointments I have to do and stuff like that. But yeah, and I have an interview at some point this week. But honestly, I don't have that much to do. So reading will be what I do all week. All spring break, because there's 2 weeks. School's going good. My math grade, I think the lowest it's been this year was a 54. Thankfully, I got it up to like a 70 something, because I'm not gonna fail math. Okay, I need an above 60 in everything to get into the university program I want, so I need to keep an above 60 this year and for the next 2 years. And then I can get into the university program I want. So that's the goal. Keep everything as high as possible, because math and science I've never been good at, and honestly I just suck at math and science. Like, it's so bad. I can't comprehend them at all. So, okay, well, thank you for coming back for this first episode in a long time. I'm very glad to be back, and yeah, honestly, I'll probably post another episode soon, but okay, I'll see you guys later. Bye.